So my topic for the day is setting up data in Power BI, sources, connection, and transformation. So this is what I will cover in this presentation: the introduction to Power BI, data sources in Power BI, connection types, data transformation in Power BI, Power Query Editor, data modeling. So in my previous webinar, I have already covered the Power BI introduction and the data sources. Like I'll cover again for the new audience who have joined us. So this is the introducing Power BI. As you know, the Power BI is a cloud-based business analytics tool. So the Power BI offers different analytics tool based on your like different analytics tool. You can you can get access to different platform, like they offer you to use on on your computer, on your mobile, or if you want on the cloud based. So they are different. The Power BI has a different models, like different application, one for the mobile app, one for the desktop, and one for the Power BI service. One, the Power BI desktop and the Power BI service is free. Power BI desktop is free, and the Power BI service is the paid one. So the Power BI is very easy. If you know Excel, uh, you can similar they offer the similar functionality in Power BI. So you can get a 360 view of your business. Anyone can visualize and analyze data similar to the Excel you are doing it. You are creating a database dashboard there. You can similarly creating, but Power BI offers the easiest solution. In Excel, you have to do some calculation. The Power BI has just a drag and drop feature you can use in Power BI. So the Power BI supports more than 100 data sources. So I have, as per the as per the diagram, I have given you only the 5 of the data sources right now. In the next slide, I'll give you more data sources, names, and everything. So we have Explorer. You can directly connect with the website as well, with the Access database, Excel, SQL, MongoDB for like MongoDB and Salesforce. You can connect with this data sources. So these are the data sources we have in Power BI. The SaaS solution, which contains Marketo, Salesforce, GitHub, Google Analytics, on-premises data, analysis services, organizational content pack, corporate data sources or external data services, Azure services, Azure SQL, Stream Analytics, Excel files like XLSB, XLSX files, Power BI desktop files. So on the right hand side, we have this is the actual Power BI view where you can search for the data sources. You can expand the file database the on the left hand side of the portion, left hand side of the grouping. So you will have more data sources available in Power BI. The file database, the file contains Excel, text CSV, XML, JSON file. The database contains SQL Server, Oracle database, Power Platform, Azure's platform, Azure databases, online services like Google Sheet, other like in other you can access through website. So 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 the connection type. What is connection type? The connection type is nothing how you connect your data source with Power BI. That's what it is. Like there's a mediator who works as a tool to fetch data into a Power BI. So we have 3 types of connection: import mode, direct query mode, and live connection. In import mode, we fetch everything. We fetch data and store it in our uh, data set, Power BI data set. In direct query, we are not storing any data. We are just storing the metadata, like the table name, like all those columns which were there in the database. So we are storing only the metadata, not the data. And live connection, we are not storing anything. So there's nothing. in we are storing. So these are very helpful tool. And in the next slide, we will review why we need import data, why we need direct query, why we need live connection. The first is the import mode. In an import connection, data is loaded into Power BI internal data model. So once your data is uploaded in Power BI, you can play with it. You can create visualization. You can create visuals. You can create anything. Yeah, tables, charts. So you can have it. Like you can play with it. And there's no dependency on the source system, because once we fetch data in Power BI, we are no longer use that information as of once, if we are not refreshing the data. Like if one of the advantages of import mode is, once we upload the data in Power BI, we are not connecting with the database anymore. Reason being, uh, because we have everything and we can play with that data. If we have a connection with the database, like the live connection, then there's a problem. If the database is slow, then your Power BI will not work properly. So that's the ideal case. That's why we are recommending suitable for small and medium sized data sets. Ideal use case when data freshness isn't a top priority, because in import mode you have to you have to refresh it manually on the Power BI desktop. If you are using the Power BI service, you can schedule it like 10 times a day or 24 times a day. It's based on the licensing, because as a Power BI service, you have two type of licenses. One is the normal one, and the one is the premium, where the premium you will pay more. You will pay around, I think, 24 or $25, and for the normal one you pay $14. But in in the normal one, it's like you can refresh up to 10 times a day, and it has a like storage capacity of 1 GB. In the premium version, you can refresh up to 20 times, and their storage capacity is 20 GB. And working with offline and disconnected data, because we fetch data in Power BI. So in the below diagram, you can see the database, Power Query, Power BI, and the visuals. The Power Query is the main tool where we edit the data, where we manipulate it, where we transform data and store it in Power BI. With the DAX, with the import function, you can use the DAX. The DAX's data analysis expression is similar to the formulas you are using in Excel, like sum, aggregated function, time intelligence functions you are using in Excel. So every month they keeps on adding a new formulas or new calculations in Power BI. So they keep on updating every month. The direct query mode. In direct query connection, data remains in the source system and is queried in real time. So we are not storing data. So this data is directly linked with the chart, with the visuals. Like if you create a bar chart, or you create a pivot table in your report, so it directly connect with them, with the chart and the pivot table. The benefits ensures up to the minute data sessions, because you we are it's a live data connection. The charts and pivot tables or the visuals were refreshed on a real-time basis. Suitable for large data set, reduce data duplication and storage need. Data duplication means we have that similar data in our database. In import mode, we have data in a database, and similarly, we are importing that data in Power BI. So there's a duplicity. We are storing the same data in both the platform. So with direct query, it reduces the data duplication. The ideal use case when data needs to be constantly updated, like the financial data, you keeps on updating. So we don't want that data to be like manually update every hour, because it's a 10. We can if it's a normal, we can update 10 times a day. So we want that data to be updated on a real-time basis. The analyzing very large data set stored in high performance database. If your database is high performance, like it is it should be high performance. Otherwise, because it is connecting to your database, it will impact the database performance, because it's a real time data. Every second it is connecting to a database and fetching data from the database. So it's like constantly running. So that's why we need high performance database for the direct query mode. Maintaining a single source of truth. Only one database is there. Only one data is there. That is what we use in direct query mode. So in below diagram, you can see the database is directly connected to Power BI. And once it is connected to Power BI, the Power BI will show, in Power BI you can create visuals. Live connection mode. In a live connection mode, Power BI connects to a data source in real time for dynamic interacting. It is similar to direct query mode. So in this also we are getting real time data. Only the difference is that it's a technical difference, like the data modeling and everything. So I have covered this in the next slide, so I'll show you in the next slide. So initially, what we are doing, the ETL process, the data warehouse. In the data warehouse, we have everything. We have data. With After data warehouse, SQL Server analysis service fetch the data from the data warehouse and perform operations. And after that, we can store data on-premises gateway. And after the on-premises gateway, it goes to the Power BI report. What's the ideal use cases? Real-time monitoring and analytics, collaborative reporting with multiple users accessing the same data, dynamic interactive dashboard. And the next one is the composite mode. It's the best of the both world in the import and the direct query. So in composite port merges the flexibility of live connection with the efficiency of import. In the import, you are importing everything on the Power BI, and in direct query, we are not importing anything. We are just connecting the data source with the visuals. So if in one table you have a large data set, in other table we have a very limited data, then it's the composite mode is the ideal scenario to use it. Benefits: real-time data source remain connected for up to the second inside. Like the fact table, you want the fact tables to be updated on a real time. However, the dimension tables remain fixed. So if you look at the diagram, the database is in database. You are updating the information on a real time basis. However, in the CSV file, you once a day or twice a day, not regular, like not on a real time basis. You are updating the Excel file. So with both things, you can import it and you can create a relationship between them and then use it in your dashboard. You can create visuals using both import and direct query data. The ideal use case: real-time monitoring and historical analysis, large data set with aggregated data with varying refresh frequency. So this is what I discussed, because in Excel file we want only once it needs to be updated. Database, we need the fact table needs to be updated on a real-time basis. The one of the simplest example is like the sales table. So we want the sales information, like how many sales, the quantity, and the price. It needs to be updated on a real-time basis. However, the dimension is the background information, like the city needs to be updated only once a day or twice a day or once a week. So that is separate. So we need that sales information needs to be updated on a real time. However, we need the city information once a week. So that by that we can create visualization. With this, you can reduce load on source system, because we are using database, like we are using only one database as a real time and the other one as a once a day or twice a week. So the frequency is different. So this is the connection mode. So in this, you will see what are the technical changes we have in Power BI. So the live, the first one is the live connection using uses SQL server analysis services. This is a data source. So live connection uses only this data source. In data source, you can like the data source and model structure. So the data modeling, I'll explain it in a later slide. So data modeling is where you set up a relationship between the data. So, so in live connection, everything is stored on the data source side, not on the Power BI. In the Power BI, you can only create visuals based on those information. However, in direct query, data is stored on the data source. The model structure, where in this in Power BI, we can create a model, like we can create a relationship between other tables and also create a visuals based on the models. Import. In direct query, we have a few of the data sources like SQL Server, Relational Database, Azure SQL Database, Azure SQL Data Warehouse, SAP HANA. So these are the data sources we can use in direct query. In import support all the data sources, including the above one. As per the import functionality, we are storing data in Power BI. So data is there, model structure we are creating in Power BI, and the visualizations in Power BI. These are the other features which we have in the connection mode. So data freshness, limited control, 10 times or 20 times a day. For direct query and live connection, real time. Data size, suitable for small, medium-sized data set. For the direct query and for the live connection, larger data sets. Performance, fast data retrieval and report rendering. However, dependent on source system performance. If your database is slow, your Power BI report will get impacted. It will show you visuals, like it will update your visuals slowly. So you will not get like a real time numbers because of the slowness. Similar to the live connection, real time performance. Data duplication. Data is duplicated in Power BI because we are storing data in both in database and also in Power BI. However, in direct query connection and live connection, we are not storing data in Power BI. Data modeling possibility. You can add so many data models. You can create so many data models. However, in direct query connection, limited data modeling capabilities. Live connection also have a limited data modeling capabilities. In the data source dependencies, independent of source system, dependent on source system, dependent on database. Live connection dependent on database. Use case example, historical analysis, offline data, responsive report. And for direct query, real-time financial reporting, single source of truth. For the live connection, real-time dashboard monitoring, dynamic reporting. DAX expression. Import connection supports all DAX expressions, the data analysis expressions. Like in import mode, you can create tables, you can create measures. However, in direct query connection, it support most of it. However, you cannot create table in direct query connection. Also in live connection, it is very limited to tax expression. You get very limited, you can use very limited functions in live connection. This is what we have, the Power Query Editor. This is the integrated tool with Power BI that is used for data transformation and cleaning. This is the tool where you fetch the data, where you clean it, where you transform it. So it has a feature data source connectivity. It has a transformation steps. It has a data type handling, formula language. Like it uses the background language for this is the M language, where you can like customize your query, customize your solution to fetch the data. You can do it using the formula language M applied steps. So in below diagram, you can see the numbers were there. So the first is the ribbon window, where you can see the data source connectivity, where you can add the data source connectivity, where you can transform the data. where you can add columns, you can, yeah, you can create, you can remove columns, you can filter down the column if you want the pivot or unpivot uh, your data, you can do it in this window. The second source, the second number shows the queries. So this will list on all those tables which you have connected to the Power BI. Like currently we have only one table, which is customer. Now, if you want the sales table, it will reflect here. This is the information on the table. If you click on it, you will see the information on these on customer table. On the fourth part, this is the recording stage, query settings. So once you've done the settings, like once you import the data, and then you filter on the dates, it will record the date, and it will record all your steps. And once you're done with the done with the data transformation, it will store it in Power BI. And next time when you refresh the Power BI, it will like remember those steps, and it will do the same processing again, and will show you the latest data with the same uh, data transformation steps. And the last one, this is the fifth part, which is the status bar, which shows the the completion time of the query, all the status, the completion time, the number of rows we have in the data sets, the number of columns we have in the data set. And the next is the data transformation in Power BI. Data transformation is the process of preparing and shaping data for analysis and visualization. It involves cleaning, structuring, and enriching data. So this is the design mode, where you can see we have customer table, we have order table, and we perform certain steps to it. Once we navigate to certain tables, then we apply certain like we columns, then we remove duplicates, then we split columns. So the Power BI remembers these steps, and it will return the result based on those steps. Similarly, we perform certain data transformation steps in the order table, and in the product table we didn't perform anything. So the Power BI query editor will remember everything, and it will give you result based on those steps. Data modeling in Power BI. Data modeling involves creating relationship between tables to generate meaningful insights. So initially we discussed about the data modeling. Data modeling is anything like where you connect with your data sources. Like you have four dimension table and one fact table. Like four sales dimension table, one is the sales, one is the sales fact table. Like in the middle one, you can see that we can consider it as a sales fact table. This is a dimension table which contains city, employee name, uh, province, country name. So it has the dimension. So in this, the most common data modeling approach we used in Power BI is the star schema, which includes feature a central fact table connected with the dimension table. So these are all the dimension tables, and the middle one is the fact table. And there is one more schema, which is snowflake schema. It is very similar to the simple star schema. However, we have sub dimension tables in it. Like in the middle we have fact table, this is the dimension table, and this is a sub dimension table in Power BI. So we can, like, in this is the snowflake schema, this is a schema we can use in Power BI as well. So the most common approach we are using in uses is this star schema. So uh, we provide a customized interactive dashboard solution as per the requirements, including Power BI. With the right tool and experience in place, dashboard reporting tool provides several valuable benefits, saves times and resources, improve decision making, easy performance checks and balances, up-to-date progress evaluation, provide at a glance visibility. Uh, if you need like if you need us to provide this video, please contact us at contact@analyzeandimprove.com. So this is my last slide. So if you have any questions, please.
Thanks, Ajit. A quick question on my end, and I think I've asked you this question in the past. Like, you know how you talked about importing the data from Excel and then spreadsheets. Like, I'm not talking about the actual database, but let's say I had the data for some purpose, which was created to see a status of a project or do a report. Where is it best to do some kind of cleanup of that data first? Is it in the spreadsheet itself, or do
For
you?
Power Query Editor. So you have the option for Power Query Editor where you can edit it.
Yeah.
So you can clean it if you want to clean if you want to perform the cleaning operations, you can do it. Yeah, you if you want to add a column, if you want to add the formulas at the end, you can do in the Power Query Editor.
But in that case, then if it's the ongoing dashboard, right, or report of some sort, then would you have to do it all the time in Power Query, or can you just
The
once,
Power
right?
Query remembers your steps, and
Perfect.
every time it imports data, it will do the same steps again and fetch and give you the result. It's a
That's
one-time activity where you record your steps and it will perform like it will do the same steps again and again on a
very
daily
good.
basis. If you are refreshing it on a real time basis, you it will remember your steps.
Yeah, perfect. Thank you.
Okay, so any any more questions? Okay, then thank you for joining this webinar and thank you for giving us half an hour time of your break. So thank you so much and we'll see you soon. Thank you so much. Bye.
Thanks, Sanjeet.
Thank you.
Thank you.